It's not too often we get a sitcom with a gay lead, but A24 and Prime Video's new series, Overcompensating, has come just in time for a summer binge. Created by and starring Benito Skinner, Overcompensating follows the college life of a closeted jock. So, we're going to get into Benito, his work, and whether this could be a spark of a new era for queer TV.
Okay, so I started watching this show, and I was initially worried because the thrust of the show is it's a bunch of people at college. They are all, I'm going to say, clearly in their 30s. And you vibe with that eventually.
I love it.
Well, that's the thing.
I love that they're old.
And it's very bro-focused at first. Like, it's about him getting into this fraternity and having to lie about being gay in order to get into it. And the ideas about what makes frat bros funny feels very 2000s and not that funny to me. But then I thought to myself, there's no way this guy, who's like a cool, normal internet guy, put this show together, and this is the reason he put the show together. There's just no way he thinks that's like what the main thing he wants to be a part of. As the show goes along, it gets more into like normal gay relationships and friendships and stuff. And I would just say, I would recommend wait till it gets there, and then it becomes quite enjoyable, I think.
Yeah, I literally binged this show in a day.
Yeah, I'm pretty close. I have like an episode left.
I thought it was hilarious. And first of all, I've loved Benny for a minute. Like, he goes by Benny Drama on TikTok and Instagram, and we've seen him mostly for funny sketches and stuff and playing sort of different characters. And I was wondering how that was going to translate. And I really enjoy him as an actor.
He's a good actor.
Yeah,
it's
he's a good actor.
Appropriately like comedic and yet relatable, and the emotional scenes don't feel forced. I mean, when I watched Tina Fey and stuff, when there's like an actual emotional scene she has to deal with, you can tell she would prefer to get back to the sarcasm. He really wades into like real tougher acting moments really well, I thought.
I think that the first episode obviously introduces you to the broiness, and it feels very much, this is the initial concept of the show.
Yeah.
But the second episode this is what the show's about. When you talk about that emotional hook moment, it's almost like if the show were an hour, you would end on this moment in the pilot, and that would really hook people. I think it's the moment where he's trying to get into a party with a fake ID, and the girl that he's been hanging out with can't get into the party. She's bounced because her ID doesn't look like her, and he chooses not to go into the party after this guy that he has a crush on, and he just has pizza with her on the curb outside of a convenience store. And that moment, he gets to be emotional, and you really sort of see that he's a good fucking actor. And I think that playing so many different impersonations for so long on TikTok has been a great breeding ground for him in a way that it hasn't been for a lot of other people.
Yeah,
because you see a lot of people on TikTok, and they sort of do the same thing constantly. Like, if you're a front-facing video person, you're getting the same jokes over and over and over again. And what I always sort of enjoyed about Benny, even when I didn't love all of his characters, it was very much like he was on a SNL or a In Living Color. He was giving you a wide array of characters constantly. And so he was constantly playing different parts all the time. And now you can see him playing the bro jock in this. And then when he gets to slip out of it and he's becoming a person who's discovering that they're gay, he's playing different versions of himself very well. And I think that comes from a willingness to try and play different people on the internet. I just think a lot of current internet TikTok or Instagram comedians, like, everybody does it now.
No,
we see somebody and it's like, this is going to be controversial. I love the black girl who does like the Nicki Minaj impersonation, but then there's this girl who does like a Charlie XCX impersonation, and then also someone who does like a Tate McRae, and I just feel like the joke is the same every fucking time. And once I've seen 3 of them, I don't want to see it anymore popping into my feed. And when people send it to me, I'm like, I get the joke. They're just sort of doing an affectation, and they're referencing a line from the song, and it's not giving original character.
Also, there's something about like people who go viral in one particular way where they are usually afraid to stray from that. You know what I mean? Like they stick with their one thing that works. That's how they kind of build a fan base. Like being a fan on Instagram is so casual. You just follow somebody and you don't have to do anything else really. So to keep them interested in you, you just sort of do the same character again and again. So when people actually try to express versatility or get away from being just like the awkward girl or whatever, I really do applaud that because it is risky every time. That said, speaking of awkwardness, I do think something on this show that I had a hard problem getting through was the main girl on the show who becomes Benny's best friend or whatever. Her job,
Wally Barham.
She's a really good actress actually, but her entire job on the show for the first 3 or 4 episodes is to be awkward, to say the wrong thing to like sorority sisters and then sort of recant and apologize. And she has to do that like 50 times in a row. And eventually you just want someone to stop being awkward sauce and get to being a person.
Not awkward sauce.
I know. Yeah. But then again, she gets there and their relationship deepens. I really think people need to stick around for like episodes 4 onward.
Yeah, and I think they will because it's so watchable. You know what the show reminds me of? It's on Prime. And it's A24, and you were thinking maybe it's going to be a bit more racy or whatever, like just a bit more sort of controversial. I don't know. Like, it's not really feeling A24-ish, which is good. It feels very ABC Family, very freeform. Mm-hmm. It's giving Greek to me.
Which, again, might be the only other successful college show in history. As you know, this is like a dead zone in terms of television.
A Different World.
I fucking love A Different World. I've seen every episode of A Different World.
Those are the only two. Yeah. Those are the only 2 college shows, though. We really don't get college shows. And it's weird to get a gay college show at that, too, just because I feel like, well, look at education in America, right? No, who's going to college?
This practice it's not will soon be abolished, so this is also the last college show.
It's not a relatable experience for a lot of people. High school is easier to do. Everyone's either gone to high school or they've dropped out of it.
Right. Also, I will say I was watching a promotional video on BuzzFeed where Benito Skidder and fellow cast member Mary Beth Barone, who also had a podcast together, they played Celebrity Guess Who. They are very funny off the cuff too. I feel like they should kind of do more with the improv zone, like. Or maybe I should just listen to the podcast more. He's like a born podcaster and a good actor.
Yeah, no, I think he's great. I think that Adam DeMarco is amazing in this. So it's nice to see him play funny.
Bro, yes, and he of course was in White Lotus season 2.
2.
Yes. Yeah. And has that. Afterwards he went viral because was it like a movie where he plays some like total queen? That went viral, and he was like queening out on it, and we rarely see actors queen out in roles.
I want to also say that this actress Holmes, who plays Haley, she plays the main girl's roommate, is my favorite fucking part of the show. She's this over the top, like blonde girl who's just sort of like a drunk, horny mess. She sold me. From the first line she sort of says in the show, where you don't even see her. She's on the phone with her roommate trying to find her at orientation. And she asked the question, are you Latinx? Saying Latinx. I was immediately, just like by her pronunciation of that, she had me. I love everything she does in this show.
And also, I think what you need to know about this character is that at a costume party, she dresses as Christina Aguilera in the Dirty video. That's like everything you need to know about this woman. I will also say that, again, this is kind of a cool thing about the show, but also puzzling, which is all the references are millennial. Like,
yeah, well,
yet it's
set in like 2018.
Oh, okay, it is set in 2018, but still, like,
it's set.
It's not quite. That's still not quite old enough because
so it's weird because it's. I feel like there's a review by my friend David Mack, who I
read
adore.
this review.
Yes, but I didn't agree with his review in Slate. Imagine me agreeing with anything in Slate, but I didn't. That was so nasty. I don't know why I'm on Slate's neck like in 2025.
Yeah, right.
Sorry. I'm so sorry. But David had a review that I didn't really agree with because his complaint was that, well, one, the actors are too old to be playing these parts. And I find that funny. I loved it in Pen 15.
I will say
and
Pen 15, though, makes a science of it. This is sort
That's
of like,
true.
what are we actually, like, did you think you looked 21 is my question about the show initially, but then I warmed to it.
I don't mind it mostly because when you go and watch like improv, like IRL, right? Or you watch actors playing things in like a theatrical show, like you'll usually have older actors playing these parts. And I think that just adds to the comedy of it, you know? And it makes sense that I feel he's had this script in his head for a while. There's an interview, a great interview with his boyfriend, Terrence O'Connor, who is sort of the creative director for Charlie XCX, and he's spearheading the sort of Lord revival right now, which, by the way, I'm kind of on board for now that she's doing the whole like, am I a man, am I a woman, and wearing the weird sort of like tube toppy like outfits everywhere. I'm like, okay, you're giving me weird in a 90s 2000s MTV sort of way,
and also literally saying the words am I a man, am I a woman, like fully Orlando by Virginia
right
Woolf. Or Lordo.
Like,
yes.
I'm gagging for it now. But Terrence in the interview just talked about how he moved to LA with Benny because, like, you know, he wanted to like help Benny, you know, with his career and everything. And I guess Benny's had this idea for a while. So if you've had this idea for a while and it was for a starring vehicle for you, why let anybody else be in it? You know, I'm going to play this part. And the other thing that David sort of said was that it's hard to place it because, you know, it's set in, is it 2013? Is it 2018? Like Charlie singing songs that came out in different years. It's sort of, if you're a Charlie XCX fan too, she pops up in the series and it's
does a concert and she plays some of her older songs. She plays like Iconopop, which I forget she wrote. I love it.
Oh well, if you've seen her in concert, you can't forget she wrote it because she loves performing that damn song.
Oh, okay.
I want to hear something else. I would love to hear anything from How I'm Feeling Now, but she performs songs from different eras and there's just different references. So it feels like it's loosely like late 2010s, which I just sort of don't mind, to be honest. I sort of get annoyed when people really try and do a specific year and are just very rigid with it at the sake of things that could be funny. Like, this isn't Mad Men.
Right. I was just going to say Mad Men is a completely different story. And I mean, it's funny though when the show starts out, we see him as a kid having this coming out moment where he's obsessed with Brendan Fraser in George of the Jungle, which, as you know, is a movie that's over 25 years old. Not that you can't watch that later, but it's an older movie. And even more tellingly, he's obsessed with Lucky by Britney Spears, and not just Lucky by Britney Spears. It's not like he's coming to this 10 years after it came out. He watches it on TRL. Now that is a specific early 2000s situation, like no doubt about it, that's where you saw it. So if you're trying to pin down a date for this show, you just have to let go of that eventually. It's you know what I would compare it to The Goldbergs, which takes place in the 1980s, but it could be any year in that decade.
I like loose shit like that, to be honest, because I'm just like, we sort of get it, you know. It's just millennial era.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, in this era where everybody is getting less and less educated about the past, I do say it's slightly irresponsible. Let's nail some things down.
He's spreading misinformation. I actually did have I posted a reel that he responded to, just making a joke about like a very unrealistic thing in the show, which it sort of makes sense for the era that it's set in, though. But in the episode where everybody's getting Charlie XCX tickets,
yes,
and they're going through Ticketmaster, and you get tickets in 5 seconds. I was like, in what fucking world, bitch? And it's not even just the Charlie XCX of it now.
Ticketmaster bought this show.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not even just the fact that it's Charlie XCX and she has a ton of fans now. I have been a Charlie XCX fan for a while. I know that it used to be very easy to get tickets.
Yeah.
Okay. They used to be handing them out. I've seen the bitch at the Abbey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Performing at the Abbey. Unlock It with Kim Petras, okay?
Yeah.
I have the video from that. But Ticketmaster in general is just a racket. Like, nobody is getting tickets that fast.
Yeah, right. They do at least show multiple characters sitting and trying to get the tickets, like with a little bit of panic about them. So there's some light journalistic integrity to that, I think.
Keep It is brought to you by Factor.
What do I like about getting meals delivered? Not cooking. I don't know if you know this. I don't have adult skills. The extent of my talents is speaking into this mic. I don't even hit the record button. There are people over there that do that. I just speak and then have to eat eventually. And that's where Factor comes into play. Make this your best season yet with nutritious 2-minute meals from Factor. Factor meals arrive fresh and ready to eat, perfect for any lifestyle. Just heat up and enjoy and spend more time doing what you want to do instead of what you have to do. With 45 weekly menu options, and they're good options, you can pick gourmet meals that fit your goals, choose from Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, Keto, and more. Factor powers your day with satisfying breakfasts, on-the-go lunches, premium dinners, and guilt-free snacks and desserts.
It's easy to savor more this spring. Factor meals pack in the flavor with none of the fuss. And if there's anything I hate, it's fuss.
Oh, number one.
What are some of your favorite meals?
I always get the honey mustard chicken. I honestly get lots of different chicken dishes. That's the protein that speaks to me. I'm not a salmon eater. I never really learned salmon. Are you a fan of seafood growing up in the Midwest?
I love seafood.
Really?
First of all, catfish.
Yeah.
Perch. Beautiful. And salmon, I really do love. I get a lot of the salmon dishes. I love a seared salmon. Yeah.
We have nothing in common. Get started at factormeals.com/keepit50off and use code keepit50off to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code keepit50off at factormeals.com/keepit50off for 50% off plus free shipping. And that's 50.
Keep It is brought to you by Armor Colostrum. This is going to give 2000s movie narrator, in a world that's constantly changing, your health shouldn't be up for debate. From the latest wellness trends to the chaos of modern culture, we're always questioning what's real and what's just noise. Is this the Matrix?
But one thing is certain, your body wasn't designed for the nonstop stress, processed foods, and environmental toxins of today's world. Armor Colostrum is nature's original superfood, packed with over 400 bioactive nutrients that fortify gut health, strengthen immunity, revitalize hair growth, and fuel performance at the cellular level. Because no matter where you stand on the latest hot topic, feeling your best is never up for discussion. Armor Colostrum has thousands of benefits, including strengthening immunity, igniting your metabolism, enhancing your skin radiance, and so much more.
We've worked out a special offer for our audience. Receive 15% off your first order. Go to tryarmor.com/keepit or enter KEEPIT to get 15% off your first order. That's tryarmra.com/keepit.
Also, by the way, Charlie XCX on the show is really funny.
She's funny.
She plays this concert and then complains to the Mary Beth Barone character who's booking it that she doesn't want to sing Vroom Vroom to a bunch of college kids or something. Anyway, the exasperation with which she delivers that line is very funny, and she's also an executive producer on the show.
Yeah. She also is the music supervisor for the show. So all the music choices are Charlie.
Oh, interesting.
And I think it's inspired. Like, of course, people rapping like a G6, that is me in college. That's actually me last week.
Right. As soon as we turn the mic off, it's back to that.
The lyrics to Like a G6, by the way, are art.
Go ahead.
We really did not give Far East Movement their flowers enough.
Do you think it's because they're called Far East Movement?
Possibly so. But the lyrics are popping bottles in the ice like a blizzard. When we drink, we do it right, getting slizzard. Sipping scissor in my ride like 3-6. Now I'm feeling so fly like a G6. Baby.
Gwendolyn Brooks, mama. Yeah.
Also, they have another single called Rocketeer that Ryan Tedder wrote, which is definitely one of my Molly Come Down songs.
Oh.
You know, when you were doing, when you've done like Molly at a party or like a festival or something, and then you're getting home and the serotonin is gone and you're just sort of in this weird sort of like state where you're trying to fall asleep and you're not really falling asleep yet. There are many songs that you can play to just sort of like soothe you in those
soothing,
moments.
correct.
And Rocketeer by Far East Movement is one of the like top 5 songs that works for me.
It's funny that you say that because whenever, it's the Sunday after, I always play Carly Simon. Every time.
Really?
Coming Around Again. I dare you on a Molly Come Down to play Coming Around Again by Carly Simon. See if you live through it.
Okay.
That song is amazing. A live version or studio, either works.
Well, I'll play it today then.
Okay. And also, if I haven't said this before,
I didn't do Molly yesterday.
No, my dream also is for Beyonce to cover "Coming Around Again." I think it's exactly emotional in the way she would kill, and she rarely does covers of like, well, on Cowboy Carter she did covers of singer-songwritery stuff, but she didn't do Carly Simon, which I would love to hear from her.
I am finally seeing Cowboy Carter on Thursday.
You're just gonna hate it. I heard that she doesn't put any elbow grease into it.
She did not put her foot in it.
No,
okay,
no choreography.
She left her foot out.
Yes, right.
When's the first time you, white person,
Yes.
heard that phrase?
What phrase?
Someone saying, "Oh, she put her foot in it," referring to cooking.
Oh, I mean, like a long time ago.
Yeah, I feel like some people don't know it still,
Yeah.
and I'm like, what? It feels like a very common, I feel like it was a phrase that was probably in black media and stuff, specifically around our age too, when we were growing up. I feel like it's not something that would be said really in like a show now. No,
though that said, Overcompensating with its nebulous eras spanning could.
Yeah. Other things that I just really enjoy about Overcompensating is that at first it felt very YouTube-y. It felt very sketchy.
Yeah.
But then as the episodes go along, it starts to feel like a real television show. And I will urge people, like you said, to get to the ending, just because I feel like the dynamics between this is sort of a sitcom like this, that's sort of a soapy sitcom too, is always going to be amazing in season 2, because you're setting up character dynamics and conflicts that sort of have to come to a head, and all of the drama and the secrets, him being gay and his best girlfriend sort of sleeping with someone she's not supposed to be sleeping with, and all of this stuff comes to a head in the finale. And I just think that the ending of the first season is hilarious. This is an amazing freeze frame.
Also, I would compare it, actually, this is an odd comparison, to Cougar Town, where it was delivered to us with a certain premise, and then as it moves along, it became the show it was supposed to be.
Cougar Town is so good. But yeah, if you remember, even the promo for season 1 of Cougar Town, people didn't want to fucking watch it because they're like, what is this? You're
right. No, it's like, it seems like a gimmick and nothing more. And then it gains soul as it goes.
It's a suburb hangout show.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah. I was going to say, and one last thing. This is, of course, a show that is drawing a lot of ire from, random people on the internet who, they get very protective over seeing any gay guy at the center of a show. And I don't know, want to be hypercritical or whatever. And I just want to say, let those people be hypercritical. We only get a gay guy as the main character on a show literally once every 5 years. I mean, the other two seems like the last real show we got in this department. And a lot of people think, oh, these people are just resentful or they're jealous or whatever. It's like, well, I mean, those are kind of valid feelings. We only get one of if it's like a sweepstakes winner gets to be the center of a gay show once every 5 years. And so I kind of love all the praise and all of the ire. I love that spectrum of opinions from gay people is to be honest, a signature cool thing about the community. Let the emotions flow no matter how bitchy they are. What's the worst thing about, I don't know, people treat being critical as some failing of the artist who made it or whatever, or they should be embarrassed or, they don't deserve that embarrassment. It's honestly, I just think people treat embarrassment like it's the worst thing that can happen to somebody, when if you're making any art at all, it's par for the course. You're going to get some pushback of some kind. I just kind of like seeing as hateful and as praising as people can be.
Yeah, I think a lot of people forget that many of the things we love currently are stuff that people used to hate or drag or had backlash at one point. And obviously there is this idea of, gay people not supporting one another in general. They'll support a pop diva more than they will support a gay artist, etc. Those are things to work on, but I don't think this is particularly a Looking situation, which I think a lot of people think about, the fact that Looking was off the air after 2 years because, people just talked about it online all the time, talking about how much they hated it. Yeah. But I enjoyed Looking, but it was kind of slow and boring.
It was also, I guess the word I would pick for it is slight. It was like a slight show.
And this show has criticism, but it also has people who love it. And I think you want both, because what really was the death knell for Looking? It wasn't in the conversation.
Yeah.
Gays were having conversations about it, but they weren't participating in a bigger conversation about the series. The only people talking about the show were Whereas Overcompensating, everyone's sort of talking about it right now. So if there are critical gays, that's actually for the best for Benny, because how many people dragged girls constantly. And that show, the ratings for girls were not giving you, Friends. Yeah. Okay. Right. That show stayed on the air for 6 seasons because it was a part of the conversation. Critics were writing about it. Yeah. People were constantly talking about it. Whether or not people were watching about it, it was watching it. It was creating a conversation. And Overcompensating is the word on the street right now.
Yeah.
So
I will say I feel like Overcompensating is just south of Prestige. I don't see it entering the awards conversation. Whereas Girls, I think that was a big part of what powered it through those seasons. It's somebody's getting nominated. Even after a while, if it was just Adam Driver, somebody was getting nominated for that show.
Yeah.
That said,
would not be shocked.
I think it's funny and unpretentious, so it should stick around.
I would not be shocked, just because it's A24, if it got a Golden Globe nom.
Right. Well, they love awarding the newest thing. They said, is it new?
Yes.
Give it a statue.
And awarding a new gay. That's cha-ching.
Right.
But anyway, Overcompensating is a big yes for me. Watch it. It's also 8 episodes. I was on episode 8, and as things were wrapping up, I thought it was going to be 10 or something. So I was surprised that it was wrapping up so quickly.
Yeah, once you start, you will zip through it.
Yeah. Okay, we'll be back with more Keep It, but before that, some housekeeping. The Cricket Store has a bunch of great new merch, including new designs for the iconic friend of the pod tee. Iconic! But the merch isn't all that's new. The entire Cricket Store just got a big makeover. But don't worry, it's a good makeover, not a cutting your own bangs after a breakup makeover. All Cricket merch is now made from higher quality, more durable materials with modern fits and more sustainable manufacturing practices. See the new site and grab a new friend of the pot tee at the same old URL, cricket.com/store. Also, on June 10th, I am hosting a live one-night-only event at the Tribeca Festival, a live taping 30-year anniversary show of This American Life. I'll be interviewing Ira Glass. That's right, 2 Iras on one Tribeca stage is giving Ira squared, and you won't want to miss it. People keep calling it Ira squared to me, actually, and so I'm like, we maybe should have just called it that.
Could it be IRA IRL? I don't know. I have lots of options I can pitch you.
It was very funny being on a Zoom call with Ira and the production team, and one of the producers really kept saying Ira Glass and Ira Madison. I'm like, oh yes, you're saying our full names because we both have the same name. I've never experienced this before. People who are named John or Ben or something, they experience it in their friend groups all the fucking time.
No, if I meet another Louis at a party, I leave the party. I'm here to bring that energy. Yes.
Yeah, we don't need another Louis. We don't need another hero.
Synonyms, yes.
Anyway, tickets are on sale now at tribecafilm.com/thisamericanlife. That's tribecafilm.com/thisamericanlife. All right. When we're back, we're joined by Jake Shane. Keep It is brought to you by 3 Day Blinds. And let me tell you something. Low-quality blinds suck, okay? They're always falling off. There's always sunlight peeking through. And when I don't want to see the sun, I don't want to see her.
That was originally in the Nosferatu script, and they cut it. So thank you for reciting it verbatim.
Cynthia Erivo's bringing it back when she plays Dracula.
That's nice. It's 2025. Are your blinds still from 2005? There's a better way to buy blinds, shades, shutters, and drapery, and it's called 3 Day Blinds. They are the leading manufacturer of high-quality custom window treatments in the U.S., and right now, if you use our URL, 3dayblinds.com/keepit, they are running a buy one, get one 50% off deal. We can shop for almost anything at home. Why not shop for blinds at home, too? 3-Day Blinds has local, professionally trained design consultants who have an average of, and this always blows my mind, 10-plus years of experience.
Damn.
Wow. It's like grad school. That provide expert guidance on the right blinds for you and the comfort of your home. Just set up an appointment and you'll get a free, no-obligation quote the same day. As we always say, there's 3-Day Blinds in the crooked offices, and the lighting in those offices are just right. It always feels like you're in a Nancy Meyers movie at all times. You know, like the light peeks in, hits all of the flatware just right that's hanging. Because, you know, those guys are always making a skillet of some kind.
Now, who's the Robert De Niro in this scenario?
Oh, gosh.
And who's the Anne Hathaway?
Anne Hathaway. Oh, okay. Anne Hathaway is,
the bitch who needs to find love.
Oh, well, Jon Lovett also, because he's always trying those jokes. You'll get there. Are you not very handy? DIY projects can be fun, but measuring and installing blinds can be a big challenge. The expert team at 3-Day Blinds handles all the heavy lifting. They design, measure, and install, so you can just sit back, relax, and leave it to the pros. What I like most about 3-Day Blinds is they make sleep easier. You know, I sleep on an amazing mattress, but I also have amazing blinds, and that's what provides you with the Radiant Man, giving you ads today.
I can sleep with my casket open because of 3-Day Blinds now.
Oh, you have like a Wednesday Addams-like existence?
Yeah, I get a breeze.
That's nice.
Yeah.
With 3-Day Blinds, you choose from thousands of options that fit any budget or style, and with actual samples, you won't be guessing about what your blinds would look like. 3-Day Blinds has been in business for over 45 years, and they have helped over 2 million people get the window treatments of their dreams. So they are a brand you can trust. Right now, get quality window treatments that fit your budget with 3-Day Blinds. Head to 3dayblinds.com/keepit for their buy one, get one 50% off deal on custom blinds, shades, shutters, and drapery. For a free, no charge, no obligation consultation, just head to 3dayblinds.com/keepit. One last time, that's buy one, get one 50% off when you head to the number 3dayblinds.com/keepit.
Keep It is brought to you by Ava. And I'm not talking about Ava Maria, my favorite song.
Oh. Ave. Sorry. Took me a second.
No, Ava Maria is a new song from Ava Max.
That is probably not true.
But would anyone know?
You should never be on the game show to tell the truth. I'll see right through you.
What's the last time you struggled with understanding credit?
Well, I just want to be clear. I still don't understand it. It's not really about understanding to me. I simply participate in it. But that's actually why Ava is so great and why we're happy to tell you about Ava. Ava is a credit building app that makes it super simple to improve your credit fast so you can get better rates on loans, pay off debt faster, and keep more money in your pocket. Instead of waiting months for a secured card, Ava is instantaneous, it's simple, affordable, and it really works. Most members see their credit go up in less than a week. The Ava card gives you credit up to $2,500, and you can use it to pay your existing bills and subscriptions automatically, then just sit back and watch your credit climb.
Ava reports your on-time payments to all major credit bureaus every day to help you build positive credit history quickly. The longer you stick with Ava, the higher your score can go, which is really helpful if you make on-time payments.
Oh.
Yeah.
Novel idea.
I got to work on that one.
Okay.
But joining Ava gives you access to all of Ava's credit building tools starting at just $6 per month. For just $6 a month, you can potentially save thousands. And there's no credit check, no interest, and no fees. You know what my first instance of knowing what credit was? Layaway.
You don't say.
Yes. Layaway is when you can't afford what you're getting right now, but you put it, you get it, and then you continue to pay towards it.
I was just watching that movie One of Them Days, where this is a whole storyline.
Yeah.
Very bracing. By the way, that movie is hilarious, and it came and went.
Yeah. And listen, credit, you need credit to basically do everything. I'm going to be looking for a new apartment soon, and the credit has to be popping. And so Ava, she's helping a girl out.
Ava is the highest rated credit building app with thousands of 5-star reviews. It's the only credit building app rated excellent on Trustpilot and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Don't let your credit hold you back another day. Grow your credit score fast with Ava. Download the Ava app, spelled A-V-A, yes, like the movie, today. And when you join using our promo code KEEPIT, you'll get your first month free. The offer is only for our listeners. Get the Ava app and use promo code KEEPIT to get your first month free. That's promo code KEEPIT, thanks to Ava. And now go get yourself some good credit.
This week's guest has been, passing that puss ever since his TikTok videos took over the internet in 2023. Since then, he's earned an astonishing rise from content creator to bona fide comedian, selling out arenas with his last podcast tour. Now he's hitting the road for a second time with Live with Jake Shane. please welcome to Keep It, host of Therapuss and a newly minted hack star, is Jake Shane.
Hey guys.
Hi.
I'm always amazed when somebody picks up online and then like branches off into like lots of different versions of entertainment. If I were you, that would stress me out. I'm like, I'm so good at this one thing. Let me just do the one thing. Has it been exciting to do other things than just what you're primarily known for, or is it like an undertaking?
It's exciting and it's what I want to do. Like, I'd rather not be stuck in like one lane, and like I always say I really do want to transition to traditional while also like maintaining my space in the digital landscape. So it's like it's what I want to do. So I'd be more stressed out if it didn't happen.
Well, thank God.
I love what you do. Like, I recently watched an episode of your series weeks ago. It was a Coco Jones episode. I'm wearing a Coco Jones shirt. I saw her last week. She's amazing. I just think that you are so fun when you interview like celebrities. You have such a fun ease with them. Like, are a lot of them people that you feel like you've met before and then you sort of have a rapport with them? Because you seem to have one with Coco already. Or how do you just build this rapport with people immediately when you're just sitting down to chat with them?
Coco and I had never met before.
Oh, you hadn't? Okay.
No.
It was giving
Coco
old friends.
I think that's a testament to Coco as well, though, because she is such a pro. And it's like, it goes both ways. It's like, so I'm able to make someone feel comfortable, but it also is on them to make, it's like podcasting is such like an art, not an art. Sorry, I'm probably going to get destroyed for saying that, but it's like, it's like they have to make you feel comfortable as well. And Coco was so good at that. She was so funny. A lot of the people I have never met before. So most of the time I've never met them. And it really is just, you're kind of like jumping into water. Like, you're sitting down and you start recording and it's like, well, we kind of have to do it. So here we are.
Who has surprised you recently on the podcast? I just watched your interview with Lizzo, and to be honest, like I had remembered she was funny, but I would actually describe her as constantly funny on that episode.
Yeah, she was. I didn't think she'd be as funny as she was either. I mean, I knew she was, like you said, I knew she was funny, but she was like making me laugh out loud consistently. And she was so awesome. Lizzo, I didn't know she was as funny as she was. I just had the Wallows on, which is a band. It's 3 guys in a band, and they were hysterical. Who else did I just? Well, whenever I have Tucker Role Model on, I just like that dynamic. I never really expected. Usually, when I have like a straight guy on, it's pretty funny because I'm like, I can, it's like not correct.
Why do we speak to them? Can they even speak? Yeah.
Sometimes no.
So also in a recent episode, you talked about a ski trip that you'd gone on, and you were sort of reticent to talk about your personal life on it. Like, you talked about a date you'd went on. And I was just wondering, because for people who begin as, sort of content creators, do you feel like you have to share your personal life with people a lot more? Like, Louis and I have never felt like we've had to do that because, we didn't start that way. But I feel like when you have a connection where people are watching your TikTok videos and then they're getting to know you, do you feel like you need to share more personal things with people just because of the medium?
No, it's usually only when I feel comfortable. And like, I actually was just watching an episode and I cut something about my personal life just because it sometimes makes me anxious for like it just like ruins things half the time if the person you're talking about listens to the podcast. And that used to not be the case. So like, they used to not listen to it. So it would be like, whatever. But now if I'm like talking to a guy and I'm talking about that, like chances of one of his friends catching it and sending it to him are like so
people
high.
love doing that.
So it's just like, it ruins and most of the time I'm talking shit, even though I don't mean it. So it's like, it's just like, I can't keep it in, and like, it sucks. Like, I was in this past episode I just recorded, I just did one with Mary Beth Barone and Benito Skinner, and like, I was talking about this guy and I'm like, I know it's gonna get back to him, then I had to cut it, but it was really funny. But yeah, I can talk about my personal life till no end when it's about me and me alone, but when it involves other people, I'm usually a tad more careful.
No, we talked about Overcompensating this week, and that they're fantastic. Love both of them. But I feel like that is a thing that happens with a show like this. I feel like when we've had friends of ours, like a Pat Regan or like someone on, like you get comfortable with them and you're talking about things that you would just be talking about in your regular life, and
Right.
then when you're talking about it in the show, you sort of forget that it's a medium that people are listening to, and especially you have
Yeah.
so many millions of people listening. It's someone's going to listen, and people love running back and telling someone, oh, you were mentioned on this show, and
Right.
it's just a weird sort of balance you have to play now all the time.
Yeah, and part of me misses when I could just talk shit, but then I was like less like I was doing worse, like not worse, but like not as many people were listening to me back then, and I think I'd rather have more people listen to me and talk less shit than talk more shit and have less people listen to me.
Now, is it you're going on tour right now? I assume that like in your stand up, like necessarily you want to get into anecdotal stuff. How do you navigate how personal to be when it comes to that material?
Oh, I'm very personal. I just say,
Yeah.
and I usually say to the audience, like, do not fucking record this. Do not record this. If I see this on Reddit, if I see this anywhere, I will never get on a stage again, and I will blame you guys. That's what I say. And so, and they're like good about like not recording, but like I get very personal. I talk about everything. Like I don't really care when I'm on stage. Like I don't really care.
What are you most excited for on this tour? What like kind of new vistas will you be conquering content-wise? What will you be discussing?
Something like my childhood, my family. It's a longer show than the first tour. It feels more stand-up-y, that's like for sure. I think I'm getting more comfortable on stage. Yeah, I love it like helps me visualize like the digital audience I created. So like that's like what I'm always most excited about, like just seeing everybody. I'm also doing Radio City, which I'm really excited about. That feels like a proper homecoming because I'm from New York. I'm just excited to like do it and say I did it.
It's also interesting that you say more comfortable on stage because does that mean you're nervous often when you're on stage? Because I go back and forth. Like I myself, like when I do monologues on Jimmy Kimmel, like there'll be times I'm nervous, and then a part of me decides actually it's endearing to be nervous. Like that's the audience
very
seeing me
endearing.
being real or whatever.
Yeah, I always say I'm nervous. Like, I always like. I mean, like I'm not. You're gonna tell one way or another, so I might as well just like beat you to the punch and let you know.
Yeah, right.
But it's so interesting to me to hear that too, because I feel like, from your initial TikTok videos, I feel like to sort of get any attention on the app, you're sort of like being yourself, but you're also being over the top. You're being funny, and I remember watching your initial videos when you were first, coming out on the platform, and it's sort of. Do you feel sort of weird then when you're interacting with people and they sort of like maybe just remember you from the past, like dancing videos or things like that, and you're like, now I'm a comedian? Like, do you feel like you're constantly, I guess, juggling like the past version of yourself with like the version of yourself that you want people to see?
No, because it's all me. I think sometimes, and I think my whole thing is like I'm pretty much the same person. But I think it's like I don't. Sometimes they'll bring up a video that I like forgot I posted, and then I'm like, oh my god, like because I post like 3 to 4 times a day, and so I'm like, oh my god, I did that, like I said that, but I'm like whatever, like like sometimes it's embarrassing, but like embarrassment is endearing as well, so it's like.
When was the first time I feel like you first noticed that this video is getting out of, I guess, my circle of people who are just regularly watching it? Like, when's the first time you felt like, oh, this video I just did, like a lot of people are watching this, and now you're thinking about the fact that there's just maybe like a million people watching this in their bedrooms?
I think it was the improv skits really took me off. Like, I think that's when really other people started to watch it. When I started doing like the John Hancocks, just like the improv-ish skits that people would comment, like that's when I realized that I was growing an audience that wasn't just in a small circle anymore.
And what was the first comment that made you sort of from someone that you were like, oh?
I think it was, it wasn't like a comment. It was like, just like, I think I woke up to like 100,000 more followers than I had the night before. And that's when I was like, oh my God, best day ever. Like, what just happened? Like, and I think that's when I was like, this is like, You know what I mean? That's when I was like, oh, this is taking off in like a different way than I anticipated.
Is there any particular comedy special you've seen the most times that maybe has been kind of a guiding light for you as you design your own stage dynamic, etc.?
Yeah, I love Hannah Einbinder's. I love Alex Edelman. I love I love like an old fashioned like Comedy Central roast. Like
Oh,
the
yeah.
roast of James
Yeah.
Franco. Like I love like those, and I love God, what else? God, there was Mary Beth Barone. I'm obsessed with Meg Stalter. I'm obsessed with that's really like my style of comedy. And then like I watch a lot of like comedic television, so I watch like the other two girls, Barry, like you know, and I recently just watched Overcompensating. Like anything to make me laugh, I'll watch Broad City, Hacks.
And you were just on Hacks. So what was that
Yes.
experience like?
Perfect. The entire team was so welcoming and kind and perfect. I'm not even just saying that. It was such a lovely environment. You know, it was so like everyone was friends. It was just like the best vibe. And it made me want to like, I was like, ugh, like I wish I was on the show every single day.
I actually, when I watch them at like award shows or whatever, a part of me is like delusional. Like they so are clearly friends, and it's not like they're so friendly that I feel like I can just join them. Like it's almost like
Yes,
I'm
yeah.
a delusional audience member being like, oh, we're all friends together. I'm like actually scared of myself now.
No, that's like parasocial relationships, and everyone has them, and I think even now more than ever. So I think that's normal, and I think that's like a testament to like their authenticity and like how close they are.
Yeah, it's also just fun being, comedy writers and creators, just seeing that too. I think part of you, it's not just a parasocial thing too as like a fan, it's also a thing as, you wish that you could have that sort of experience on any job.
Yeah,
that you're
it's their
on,
job to have fun, I guess. Right. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yes,
and
yes.
I've written on shows that have not been that,
So you were just on Hacks. If you could be on any other TV show right now, what would you like to join? What's your like sort of dream project?
My own. I think I really want to.
What an all about Eve answer. My show is what I want.
Well, my own, but yeah, that or like I don't know. I'm overcompensating. I'm trying to think of like what else I watch that's like. It's like I watch a lot of like stuff that's not on the air anymore. So like I'm in a dream world. Veep is still on the air, and I could be on Veep. Like that's like one of my favorite shows of all time. Girls, like the other two, but yeah, I really want to like write and create my own type of show.
Okay, you're from New York,
Yes.
and you love girls. How do you feel about being in New York versus LA then? Because, Lena Dunham just recently said, I'm tired of New York.
I didn't like growing up in New York.
Okay.
I didn't like it. I think it's just like I was a teenager, so it doesn't matter where you really grow up as a teenager. It's just like not the best. And I didn't love it. I love Los Angeles more than anything. I'm like the biggest LA apologist. Like it's my favorite city in the world, but it's not as fun as New York is. But like I don't trust myself to not be like out of control in New York. Do you know what I mean? Like if I feel like I would drink every single day if I lived there. But like I don't know. I feel a little more stir crazy in Los Angeles, which makes me feel in a little more creative because of that. I don't know. I love LA. I love that I have like a backyard. I love that I can go out. I can go outside all around the year. I love Erewhon. Sorry, and I like I do, and like I love. I don't know. I love LA. I just love it here.
No, I live in LA and have lived here for the past 16 years.
Oh,
But
you live here?
yes,
Amazing.
Yeah, no, I have a great time, but a part of me is almost always kind of apologizing because like I do love New York too, but I almost need it as a vacation because then I can treat the the release of energy as sort of a one-time thing before I go back into I'll call it quasi suburban existence you live in LA.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%. I mean, when I go to New York, I'll like go out for an entire weekend and come back and be like, and then like LA's like I'll rehab.
Yeah.
Like I'll be like, I'm never drinking again. Like I'm gonna go work out and like get an IV and like figure it out.
I have friends who visit from LA, like even one recently, and they were like, you all do this every weekend?
Right.
Yes, because how do you do that? Like, but I have friends here and like that I live with that are like about to move to New York, and they go out twice a weekend, and I'm like, you need to get out. Like, you're not meant for it here. Go away. Like, I don't want this energy around me. I don't want. They're like I had friends that went out Thursday, Friday, Saturday last week, and I was like, you're a witch, and I need you to leave. You're not meant for it here, and you're killing my vibe.
No, we all have good skin and sleep well here. Yes.
Yes, we do. And like, oh my God, I didn't go out this weekend, and I woke up Monday and I was like, let's fucking go. Life is beautiful. Life is amazing. Like, life is worth living. And I was like, damn, like, I love it here. So yeah, I love LA.
Which is wild because I feel like Sundays in LA were always my favorite day to go out and do something because it's just bright and beautiful. Like it's sunny here again now, so now Sundays are the day to be out in New York. But in LA, I felt like
really?
Sunday is always an allure. Yeah, it was lovely on Sunday. It was like 80 degrees.
Oh, gay people are crazy. Isn't that like Sunday Fun Day or something? Like,
yeah.
I'm the worst gay person on planet Earth. I like don't know anything. Like, but I know like my other gay friends were like, Sunday Fun Day is a thing. Like all the gays go out on Sunday, and I was like, what?
I've always found it mysterious. Like I just don't want that feeling like minutes before I tumble back into civilization and do a real job.
I can't do that. Like Monday, I need at least 24 hours. And I'm sorry, I sound like so like millennial when I say I love millennials, but like when I say like Monday, but like you know, like,
well, guess who you're talking to? So
yeah.
No, I know.
We're like Kathy, the comic strip.
Yeah,
that you've probably heard of.
But I'm saying like I have.
Yeah, right. It was a boomer reference. Fear not. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
I don't even know what that is.
No, there's Kathy jokes on 30 Rock. It's older than us. But no, I feel like that it gets very like Elaine going back to Veep, right? Julia Louis-Dreyfus on Seinfeld. I feel like there's an episode, the Puerto Rican Day Parade, which doesn't even really air anymore. But she was fine with being out for the day, but she was like, I gotta get home for 60 minutes, my Sunday night unwind. And I feel like when you have a show like White Lotus or like something airing on a Sunday, or even like Housewives or something, right? You know, the Sunday is fine because you know that you've got an unwind moment. You're going to get home. You're going to order some food. You're going to sit down with your show. And then you just sort of chill out. And that's how you get ready for the Monday.
I mean, I spent my entire Sunday this Sunday. I went to the farmer's market, and then I sat my ass down and I rewatched Glee for 10 hours. It was fucking electric. And that made up for my entire weekend. I was like, it almost felt like going out to me, you know? But I would do that today too, so I guess whatever.
One final question then. Who do you think is your ultimate Glee character?
Rachel Berry, and I don't give a fuck. I'm sorry.
At the alpha psycho energy with which you said that. Rachel Berry.
Yeah. Because like she is so well, I also love Santana because Santana will call out Will Schuester on like his borderline like pedophilic energy. Like, do you know what I mean? Like he like I just watched an episode. He came and he was like, I just finalized my divorce, and she goes, why are you telling us this? I'm like, why are you telling us this? But I love Rachel Berry. I ride for her. I think she's so delusional, and it works. It works.
She's so much fun. I loved your interview with Leah Michelle, by the way.
Thank you.
Finally, you were like, she was like, listen, bitch, I'm reading.
Yes,
give me the cue card.
She did. I wasn't even gonna ask her about it. I was like, you know what? Like, I'm just gonna be like respectful, and like, I'm not gonna ask about the reading vibes. And then at the end of it, I was like, and you know what? And it was like, God, like, and this all goes for manifestation. Before it started, I was like, in my head, I was like, imagine if she like took the cards and started reading. Look at God. Look at God.
He saw you. She saw you.
He did.
Yes.
She's God on Glee.
That's true.
For instance, yeah.
She is.
Jake, thanks so much for being with us today. As much pleasure as we expected from watching you on your show.
Yeah.
This was so fun. I wish it was longer, but I'll just have to come back.
That's exactly right. We'll make you a featured segment every week. And by the way, what does Jake think? And we'll just check in.
Yes, Please give me a call. Give me a ring.
When are you at Radio City?
June 27th. Do you want to come?
I would love to.
Okay, great. I'll set you up with tickets. It'll be fun.
Oh wait,
You'll love
that's
it.
right in the
great.
middle of New York Pride, is it not? So maybe
is.
we'll
So
all
I-
be there.
Okay, well, great. Come, hang out. It'll be fun. Come to the
great.
show, please.
Yeah, would love to.